Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, I want to show you a team for the Heretical Ruins challenge number 4 that you can use in order to beat this one. It obviously changes every single week. You gotta keep this in mind, right? Some of these change every single week. However, for this week that has the buffs that you see over here, I'm going to show you the team that works that, should allow you to pretty much beat it, even though I personally believe we should not be farming the challenge tickets on this one, but you might want to just beat it once for the sake of the achievement, so let me show you the team. Now, as always, before I jump in the video, I do want to mention if you want to support me as a content creator, you can use code OddOne that you see over there at the top. Costs you nothing, helps me a ton. And, when it's active, because it's not always active, but when it is, if you do decide to spend, I get like 2% part of that. Plus, the more people support me, the more giveaways I will have to give. But the team that I'm using for this, honestly, is nothing too special. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's the fact that I am just using my normal team that I use for the Heretical Ruins on stage 20. The only thing that might change, the only thing that might matter is when you do certain ones of your skills. Now, you're gonna see that as opposed to the previous video that I did where I beat this by using Gillian and Urion, this time around I kept Velocia in the team. However, I'm pretty confident that this team would work just about the same with Urion instead of Velocia. You saw one really important thing that happened is the fact that I kind of delayed my Velocia skills to not happen too early. And at the same time, Gillian is delayed, so she does her ultimate after the boss does his ultimate, because you want to make sure you cleanse those burns off yourself. If you don't do that, it might be a little bit problematic. Even like this, you see, we do get some crazy hits. However, like I mentioned, you only need to beat this one once. After you beat it once, you're good to go, right? You're good to go. You beat it for the week, and then you can move on with your day. Seems like I said, this one had a little bit of bad RNG. Let me just go ahead and rerun it, and we're gonna come back at the end. Okay, so I beat it, as you can see, in 34 seconds. Now, the quirky thing was the fact that I realized I forgot to update my builds, right? My builds were really behind, really poor. I forgot to put the right stats on the people, and that's why it failed. I'm like, wait, why am I not killing it? I should have enough damage. But let me show you the skill timings for this one. So, first of all, we're going to be having our Ice Blast people. I even forgot to put this on 18. Let me just put them on 18 seconds. But you have Zora going at 12, Sheena going at 12.2 afterwards, and then Beldel at 13, then every 18 seconds. Then you're gonna see Velocia's going at 16.5. I kinda have this so that she does her ultimate, which puts shields and damage reduction, before the boss does the ultimate and before the boss does the third skill. The boss's full rotation is 24 seconds. This one lands for 10, so if you put 24 minus 10, that's like 14. I just put it like 16.5 just to be a little bit later to work, just fine. And then when we're looking at Gillian's running at 24.2, which does the ultimate after the boss does her ultimate, which means we're going to be removing those burns, because it's really important. If we have burn on us, the boss does AoE hit and not single target hit. But that's pretty straightforward. Now let's have a look at the builds. So start off with talents as always. I went just straight up down the middle for Gillian. Velocia went this way, and then I went at the top to dispel debuffs, even though it's not needed for this fight. For other fights, you might want to dispel those buffs. Then Beldel is like you see. This one's really important, Crystal Melt combined with this one, so that she can generate some of those ice crystal back when she does consume 2 of them. So she can do I do believe this is one of the best ways, at least for the last 2, this is one of the best ways for her to do damage. But, who knows? More testing might get some different ones. Then if you look at Sheena, went condensing ice combined with deep freeze, and then also recreate for some healing. This is for a different fight. Normally I would go with this one to remove the boss's invisibility, but you know what? It worked just fine, and pretty much almost the same ones for Zorak. Now let's look at their build. So we're gonna have Gillian in an Ancestral Protection with obviously Enlightenment chest, and then defense percent with survivability. Pretty much you want to give her as much enlightenment and then HP and defense as possible, so she keeps everyone alive. And then I gave her the Solar King's Horn. just to have a little bit, you know, of damage when she does heal some of our people. Then if we look at Velocia, obviously she's running the Aurelian Vest. Then she's in the Puppeteer's Inspiration because she's going to boost the 3 other Ice Blast people to do more damage. And then, of course, the best mythic artifact for her is going to be Devout Prayer as she puts shields. So whenever she does put those shields, everybody's going to do 12% more damage for 10 seconds, which is going to be awesome, which means we're going to have this on most of the fight. Then if I have a look at Zorak, Zorak is in the Dawn Organ Pipe with Brotherhood Spirit. I just give him as much attack as possible with a crit rate glove, so he does a little bit of damage. Then Sheena's, obviously, our Witch's Remains, Wearer Plus, she is in a damage build, right? Attack percent chest in Imposing Presence, crit rate gloves in Strike and Prepared, Bloodshade Mark, really important, gives her a ton of attack, and then Fearless Challenge, again, really important, 16% more damage is huge. And then the last one, which is our main damage dealer, Beldel, with the Blooms of Prina, because I don't have her exclusive artifact, didn't get copies of her, but you know what, this one works just fine. She's running same thing, Imposing Presence, since we're gonna have full HP most of the fight, with crit damage on the Strike and Prepared. I would have preferred to go crit rate with crit damage substats, but I don't have another good enough glove, so I just went with this. Same principle again, Bloodshade Mark with some crit rate, and then Fearless Challenge with crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. This is the piece that I brought over from Season 1. And then obviously it's going to be, you know, crit damage over here on this one. And then over here actually we went with defense just to make sure she survives and doesn't die, because the boss hits pretty hard. But that's pretty much the team, right? That's the team that gets you challenge 4 of the Heretical Ruins done. I personally believe, and I'm saying this again, I don't think you should be farming this one, right? I'm going to make maybe a video once I do the other 2. I still have Venom last challenge and then Ancient Battlefield last challenge to do. But I personally believe that Heretical Ruins and Ancient Battlefield challenges should not be done, in the sense that after you beat it for the first time, that's it. Do not use your daily tickets, your excess ones on them, because it's not worth it. I'm going to make a more, like I said, in-depth guide on why I believe that. But for now, we're going to leave it at this. I hope the video is helpful. If it is, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next. Again, don't forget to support using code OddOne when you know that that is available. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, run. Bye, guys.